Well, hello. It's been a long lockdown, but hopefully we're towards the end of it. Here we are at the Vortex downstairs in rainy Dalston on a Saturday night. And, of course, I'm joined by the G-Man on my left in our 14th edition of the show. And we have a special guest tonight, the managing director of www.boxingtips.co.uk, Mr. Anthony Stone.
Hello, good evening.
Now, the G-Man Talks Boxing, as I said, it's in our 14th edition, is collaborating with this new website to make you
some
out
money.
there some money. We are going to be predicting the big fights, and Anthony Stone at Boxing Tips is going to be laying the odds, laying the bets, and then it's down to you to lay your bets with SpreadX, who are our partners. So let's get stuck into the big heavyweight fight, Dillian Whyte versus Alexandra Povetkin, which is on
the 22nd of August at Eddie Hearn's mansion.
Quick word about the TV shows. Of course, BT Sport have been doing their ones, and Sky have been doing their ones at Eddie Hearn's, the Hearn's mansion. G-Man, how have they been holding up? Not bad.
You know, it's amazing. You know, they're doing a fantastic job there. There is not one show there that you go, huh? Is this a mansion? It's prolific. Keep it going, guys. Keep it going. It's fantastic.
Now, the fight they had on last weekend I was riveted by it. I mean, obviously, I'm a long-term fan and promoter of women's boxing, and I believe it has a place. I think the whole community now accepts it does. But that fight between Natasha Jonas and the young lady from Sheffield, right, who was the WBC champion, right? You know, I mean, that was very, very, very technically good, wasn't it?
You know, when you see something like that, you don't think about ladies boxing. You just see boxing. And that's what showed up there. It's just boxing. When people put that tag of ladies, I understand that. But the quality of what you saw there, not only was it interested, it's entertaining, it had a lot of curiosity about it.
And you know what? What really impressed me more than anything else, because there's always been the talk in European boxing that we don't know about infighting, and the Americans and Mexicans do. But my God, you know, those two women, they got there in the trenches, they were in the pockets of each other, and they were trading quality inside fighting.
And technical.
And very technical. So full marks to Eddie Hearn for seeing that's a good promoter, for seeing that could top the bill. It topped the bill. And it was as good as the one
and
on the
BT.
And it lived up. You know, it lived up. So let's go into Whyte Povetkin. G-Man, Povetkin's 40 years of age, and Dillian Whyte's been on the sidelines as this mandatory challenger. What's this fight all about, pay-per-view? What is it?
Is it a pay-per-view fight?
It's a pay-per-view show.
Does it warrant pay-per-view apart from the name?
Well, normally it wouldn't warrant a pay-per-view. But you see, I just got a sneaking feeling that because people have been deprived of boxing for so long, that they might just shell out for it. But for me, it's a kind of decent matchup. But as far as being at a pay-per-view fight, I don't see it. But tell me about technically. You know, Povetkin's always been a strong contender, but that word contender. Whyte is also a contender. So you've got two contenders, basically. What is it? Whoever wins this fight, what's going to happen after that?
You
for whoever
know,
wins?
this is the kind of fight that it goes like this. Does it matter? And yes, it matters that it's a fight. The thing about it is Dillian Whyte, who is a premier geezer in the business right now, and is a geezer who is leaving the business right now. But he's been leaving for a long time. Well, he ain't going to leave like that. You've got to kick him out.
Well, you've got to kick him out. But Eddie Hearn has resuscitated him time and time again.
Sure.
And so he must see the value in it. So my question is this. Povetkin is probably technically better than Whyte, but Whyte is a cagey, a good body puncher. He's been in there at the top level. He knows what a ring is all about. He's probably still got the hunger because he hasn't had his shot yet. How do you see the fight going?
You know, Povetkin, he brings the fight to you. He comes out there, and he is what you were looking for from a fighter. He's a warrior. You know, listen, Dillian Whyte ain't no mug. He ain't going to stand in the middle and get hit. Because Povetkin could hurt anyone if you stand there and get hit. But, you know, the truth of the matter is that I don't know why White won this fight. There's nothing in this fight for.
Well, that's the question I was going to ask, because at the end of the day, Dillian White has been denied this shot. I can't ever work out why he doesn't get this shot at Joshua Wilder or Tyson Fury. I don't understand.
It's all in the details.
We don't know. Could it be that Dillian White is asking too much money? What is it? I don't know. But something's stopping White from getting that. So if Povetkin were to beat Dillian White, I suppose that Povetkin would then...
What?
Well, I don't know.
Exactly. This is supposed to be a promotional situation, and the value in that promotional situation... listen, White can lose to Povetkin and carry on. He could win and carry on. It's not really a big significant fight. It's a workout.
It's a workout for both of them. Okay, so I'm going to put my prediction in. Okay, this is John Collins' prediction. I'm not copying anybody else's prediction. This is my prediction. I'm going to go for White stopping Alexander Povetkin by body shots between rounds 5 and 7. That's my prediction. Over to you.
I'm going a little bit later. I think this is going to go about 11 rounds.
In whose favour?
White.
Okay, so we've got two. So let me bring in Anthony Stone now, boxingtips.co.uk. We've made the predictions. Now I'm going to bring him in now, and this is where all your ears need to prick up, because this is where it's the money. This is the money talk now.
Okay, guys, so there's two ways that you can bet on this fight. There's the traditional fixed odds way of betting, where White is 1-4, Povetkin is 14-5. So if you fancy Povetkin, you can make some money there. My personal view is that White will come through from some sticky moments, might even have to get off the floor, but will prevail on points. Now, there's another way of betting, which I've been betting for, 25 years now, which is a spread bet. Now, a lot of you guys out there will not understand how to spread bet, but I want to start the ball rolling, and forgive me if I'm teaching a grandmother to suck eggs here. So if you know, then that's fantastic. So the way this works is there's a 100 index where you get 100 points for the winner and 0 for the loser. And so for a £1 bet, White is 71.80, which means if you fancy White, you can put a £1 stake on and he wins. You win the difference between 80 and 100, which is 20, so you'd win £20. But if he loses, you'd lose £71. Now, you can also sell Povetkin. So Povetkin's 19.26. So if you fancy White, you can sell Povetkin at 19, and if you lose, and if White wins, you win 19. But if you sell Povetkin and Povetkin wins, you lose the difference between 90 and 100, which is 81. You'd lose £81. So my prediction on that one is White on points, 6-4 fixed odds, or you back him at 80 on the 100 index. I believe White will win on points.
That's absolutely fantastic. And what an eye-opener. A very quick one before we go on to Joyce Dubois. Katie Taylor versus Delphine Persoon. I want to say that Delphine Persoon, after she got robbed in that last fight, she became amateur. She competed in the Olympic qualifiers, and she actually got knocked out in the first round. So, women's amateur boxing is absolutely formidable. It really is. And it'll take a few years for it to come through properly to the pros. But a very quick one, Gout. Katie Taylor versus Delphine Persoon. Which way is it going?
I see that as a good fight. I see that as a very competitive fight. It was in the first fight. In the first fight, Katie Price. Katie is, I'm a great fan of her. I like her style. I like her attitude. She's amazing. I just think that this fight, why have this fight? Because that was such a hard fight, when they fought before.
I think they're having a fight because it's a pay-per-view show.
Well,
and because that's going to help the pay-per-view. So the first fight was so good.
They will get the
prediction.
Value.
I'm putting it on you.
I'm going for Katie.
How?
I'm going for Katie because I'm going for Katie with my head, not my heart.
I'm going for Katie Taylor to win on points against Delphine Persoon quite easily.
I'm going to join you guys. Katie Taylor on points.
Okay, so we're all Katie Taylor on points. Right, let's get on to the really mouth-watering heavyweight clash, which is on...
It's on the 24th of October.
Where? We don't know yet. Okay, this is Daniel Dubois, 14-0 against Joe Joyce, who is either 10 or 11-0. Now, Joyce has had a warm-up, and he won that very easily. Now, Daniel Dubois is also having a warm-up against a German called Eric Pfeiffer. Now, Pfeiffer was a pretty good amateur. I think he beat Tony Yoka in the amateurs, and he got a decision. He did get stopped by Anthony Joshua, but the guy is 33, 7-0 as a pro. He has some capability, and he also has a bit of size. You've seen the guy on video. How are we? What are we saying about that
fight? He's no mug. The thing about it is that the fight they're giving him as a warm-up fight is very, very warm. It's not a walkover. That it's up to him to make it look like a walkover. That's what it is all about. This is the scenery that he's now in. He's playing with the big boys now.
Okay, well let's move it forward, mainly because of timing. So let's say that Dubois comes through this pretty tough warm-up against this German Eric Pfeiffer. Okay, let's go on to the main fight. Will that stand Daniel Dubois in good stead for the fight with Joe Joyce?
I'll be studying this fight. And what keep coming up to me is that Daniel's had about 14 fights. And out those 14 fights, none of them really hit back. But Joyce will. Joyce will hit back. So this is going to be an interesting fight. Joyce coming forward, Daniel coming forward. So we have the dynamic Daniel coming forward, and we have the torturer Joyce coming forward, who throws 1,000,000 punches per second.
Well, it's interesting because there's a big article out in the Daily Mail or the Daily Express today about Daniel Dubois, and who's basically saying, I don't think about anything else except winning the world title. He's 14-0. He's got about 6 or 8 titles already, different types of titles. He's done everything right so far. Promotionally, they've done a pretty good job. They must be very confident to have taken Joe Joyce on at this stage, because one would have thought that an unbeaten Joe Joyce at 34 needs Daniel Dubois more than Daniel Dubois needs Joe Joyce.
Well, when you're talking from a rational point of view, Daniel Dubois is 2019. He can come again. He can lose and come again. So that's not a big deal. It's called experience. The thing about it is that Joyce hasn't lost a fight for five years. He's lost one fight in 5 years. That means he fights. He gets hit. People are talking about Joyce. Oh, he gets hit. Yeah, he gets hit. But guess what? He hits back. People are talking about how slow he is. Guess what? He throws his hand continuously.
And he's got a great chin.
Proven.
A proven chin.
When this fight was first made, my total heart was for Daniel Dubois. And then I woke up one day and realized that Joyce hits back. That's what makes it a fight.
So you've got two supremely confident fighters, both of them proper heavyweights. I mean, real proper heavyweights. Both of them with extensive amateur pedigree. Of course, Joyce a lot more than Dubois, but Dubois still had 60 or 70 amateur contests. So you've got two very, very seasoned boxers here. One 22, the other guy's 34. I don't think the age really comes into it because I don't think Joyce is one of those people who looks old. They've both got good chins. Daniel's chin was tested by Richard Lartey. They've both got some power. I think, me personally, that this is going to be an absolute cracker of a fight.
Listen, not only will this going to be a cracker of a fight, this is both men world title fight. This is not a preliminary. This is the fight. The world title fight will be a lot more easier than this fight. This fight is the meaning fight. This is the fight that you can't run away. You have to stand up. What happened at the press conference, when Daniel Dubois was pushed by Joyce, he was testing Dubois to see if he's a boy. He found out he's got a man in front of him.
Daniel Dubois is very mature, and he found out he had a man. We're going to have to do some predictions because we are now linked up with www.boxingtips.co.uk. So I'll go first because G-Man's has the final word. Actually, and Mr. Stone does, but you have the final word if you know what I mean. I'm going to give two predictions. I believe that I believe that Joe Joyce will either win on points or Daniel Dubois will knock out Joe Joyce by round 8. That's my prediction. Over to you, G-Man.
There's a very famous saying: if you want to stay unbeaten, don't get in the ring.
Correct.
And what it means that if you get in the ring, you can be beaten. And this is what this is all about. I'm going to save my reservation for the point that we've got a couple of months left before this fight actually happens. And Dubois has a fight before he gets in the ring with Joyce. So I have some more homework to do. And let me do my homework.
Okay.
I'll be back.
That's a fair point.
I'll be
there
back.
is 2 months left. Final word with Anthony Stone of www.boxingtips.co.uk.
Gentlemen, I think this is the domestic fight of the year. This is a genuine 50-50 fight. Forget about the odds. The odds are 4-1 on Dubois, 3-1 against Joyce, 22-1 the draw. Forget about that. For me, this is a genuine 50-50 fight, and it's going to be an absolute barnstormer, and I really don't know what's going to happen. But if you had to put a gun to my head, I'm going to say the younger man somehow is going to come through a war against Joyce. And Gary and John, absolutely right. Joyce, he does, for me, take too many shots, but he does come back and throw a lot of shots. The $64 million question for me is, can Dubois take a shot? Because I've never seen him hit yet. But I think the younger man will come through. Something tells me that Dubois will come through. But who knows? It could be like a Jumbo Cummings sort of Frank Bruno fight where he gets poleaxed in the middle of the ring and doesn't know what to do. I really don't know what's going to happen.
Well, the managing director of the Boxing Tips website
don't know what to do.
is also, so I'm the only one that's actually made a proper prediction here. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been very nice. Please go to the website, place your bets through the website with SpreadX for this fight, White Povetkin, coming up on the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. See you next time.
Thank you.